Because we really, really need you down here. From all the pain that we going through, we know that you're real, so can you fall through? Father, have mercy when we call on you. But I just want to fall on you. So about 5 minutes. Waiting and to play with. I raised my children up to say the same shit. Dear Lord, I hope you hear my prayers. Because we really, really need you down here. From all the pain that we going through, we know that you're real, so can you fall through? Father, have mercy when we call on you. But I just want to fall on you. To show the devils you ain't nothing to play with. I raised my children up to say the same shit.
Yeah. Go ahead. Come on, West. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Look, I keep it low to the T. UBK play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet. Got soldiers on deck, and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother way. Tell him get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Nigga, come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Man, this shit is too easy. I'm on gold, but they don't believe me. You know I'm winning with the team. Screaming Vinny, VG. Hear them devils screaming out bloody murder. I'm about to close the curtain. Mama grind, bitch, and work. Sorry, all them lies, it ain't working. Them niggas weak, they be churching. I'm a West nigga, that's for certain. If he cross the line, I'ma back up and I'ma hit his ass with this virus. And I come through 300 strong, 144 Leonidas. All my niggas we eat. I'm in this bitch with the itis. Say, all y'all do the sweet. Tell y'all to do the sweet. The nigga made the wrong move, he make his ass out the league. He ain't one of us hit the league. He ain't one of us here preach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. Look, I keep it low to the T. UBK play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet. Got soldiers on deck, and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother wave. Tell him get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Nigga, come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat.
You see this look that's on my face, bitch, I'm for real with it. I hit the streets, put on my cleats, was in the field with it. You soft as cotton, just an actor, Uncle Phil with it. And then my target's on the move, but I can still hit it. Hey, I speak true cause it's necessary. Gullah Jack revolutionary. Cold on them like January. Commander General is a visionary. Soul food, no sweets. Your preacher man, he's sweet. Matter of fact, he weak. It's wartime for peace. Think you hard, nigga, you ain't. Fuck with us, nigga, you can't. You smart cars, we takes. We form up in ranks. We body bag this rap shit. All black, no bright shit. Real life, no cap, bitch. Fall on them, that's cap shit. I keep it low to the T. UBK play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet. Got soldiers on deck, and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother wave. Tell him get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Nigga, come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. Go ahead.
Sound praise. All right, Shalom Israel, Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua Barakatham, Yahweh Shemar Thum by Hashem Yahushua. I'm Priest and Officer 1000 Yadai. I'm holding it down for Captain 13,000 Shapar Napash. Tonight is the history class. Tonight we're going to go over some little history. Now, let me ask y'all a question, black man, First Nation man, Hispanic man, and woman. Why is our history important? I'll explain it to you. Our history is important, man, because our history, more importantly, is right here in this Bible. That Bible that's collecting dust on your grandma's shelf, you know what I mean, and table, it holds our records and our history, man. And it's time for us to explore and go back and take back our history and let it be known. Because right now in the public school system, correct me if I'm wrong, Barzo, we can't even learn about critical race theory. They don't want us to know about all the atrocities that these other heathen nations have done to us. But we do have to learn about the oppressor's history. We have to remember the Alamo. We have to remember 9/11. Let me tell you something. The only part of the Alamo I'm going to remember is my Isupk and First Nation brothers and sisters, man, of the tribe of Gad and Reuben and Issachar battling the oppressor to the death, man. We're going to remember, you know what I mean, Rosewood and Tulsa, Oklahoma. And right here, even in Philadelphia, man, you know what I mean, the MOVE movement in 1985, man, where they firebombed an entire neighborhood of Osage Avenue in West Philadelphia. That's what we're going to choose to remember, man. Because if you let the oppressor write our history, if we let the oppressor write our history, guess what? You know what he's going to tell us? You know what I mean? That slavery wasn't what we thought it was. It was the Great Migration. Oh, wait. They already starting to put that in the history books now, man. This is why, if I could, Barzal, let me get Job 9:24. This is why the scriptures say this, and we got to understand who we dealing with. Your problem is our people don't understand who we dealing with. You think you're just dealing with regular old Bob, Adam, and Tim, and Amber, and Susan, when you really dealing with the devil that the Bible speaks of, man. Because the oppressor is the devil, and he ain't your friend. I know a lot of them may say, may buy you lunch or breakfast at your slavery. I know they might smile in your face. You play on a fantasy football team. Guess what? They are not your friends. They are our enemies, man. And it's important for us to know. Let's read.
God, it's the book of Job, chapter 9 and verse 24.
Mm-hmm.
The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
The earth is given unto the hand of the wicked. Who is the wicked on the earth? The oppressor is the wicked on the earth. How do we know that he's the wicked on the earth? They love to tell our Hispanic brothers and sisters, well, you're a wetback. Here's the problem with that. The oppressor crossed an entire ocean to get over here to the New World, the so-called New World, the shores of North America. They're the real wetbacks, man. Don't let the oppressor shame you, black man, Hispanic man, First Nation man and woman. He's the vagabond of the earth, man. He don't have a home. His name is Edom, Esau, Adawam. He has wasted away. Now, it says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Why is the earth given into the hand of the wicked? I'll explain why the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Because we sinned against our God, black man, Hispanic man, and woman. We sinned against the Most High by not keeping his laws, statutes, and commandments, man. Read on.
God, he covered the faces of the judges thereof.
Now I'm about to share my screen. When it says that he covered the faces of the judges thereof, now let's go into a little history, right? Now, I'm going to go into a little history. This book right here that I'm getting ready to show you, bear with me, for sure. Also, if y'all have any questions, I'll be answering y'all questions tonight. Make sure y'all type y'all questions in. Now, when it says he covered the faces of the judges thereof, I advise everybody that you can obtain this book called The Russian Icons. Now, I would advise you to get the PDF because the oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. This book is going in the hundreds, man, like $600. The Russian Icons. Now, in the Russian Icons, right, explains about how the oppressor, you know what I mean, changed and, you know what I mean, and turned, you know what I mean, the priests and prophets of God into oppressors. He covered the faces of the judges thereof because the oppressor does not want us to know that the men of this Bible, man, are black, Hispanic, and First Nation, man. He don't want you to know that Moses, who would be a Haitian brother today, would be of the tribe of Levi. He don't want you to know that Joshua today would be of the tribe of Ephraim, who were the Puerto Ricans, man. They don't want you to know, you know what I mean, Yahweh Shah Mashiach, our king, you know him as Jesus Christ, is a black man from the tribe of Judah. They don't want us to know that. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof, and this is how he did it. Let me show you another image from the Russian icons. Here's the thing, man. The oppressor is truly an evil, wicked bastard. Like, we got to understand who we dealing with, man. We don't even understand or fathom just how evil this oppressor is. As you can see, man, these are black and Hispanic men. Right. And this is in the Russian icons, man. They don't want us to know this. This is history right here. In that book, The Russian Icons, it explains on how they had to, whitewash everything. Because imagine you going into that church and seeing a black Yahweh Shah Mashiach, seeing black Jesus, seeing a black Moses, seeing a black David, a black Solomon, a black Joshua, Puerto Rican Joshua, Salaka. But we all black. Black is a condition. Seeing, black, black Aaron. They don't want us to know that. Black Malachi, black Daniel. They don't want us to know that because here's the problem with that, man. The earth was given unto the hand of the wicked, and he covered the faces of the judges thereof, man. Most High Christ, brother said that he bought the books, The Lost Tribes, and Promised Lands on sale at Amazon. Most High Christ, brother. Most High Christ. Make sure you get all them books, man. But for the Russian Icons, I'm not sure if you'll be if you're able to pay for the hard copy because it's expensive. What I would recommend is getting the PDF. You get the PDF, you'll be all right. You know what I mean? Now, read it again from the top, Barzo.
Oh God. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
The earth is given into the hand of the wicked, man. The wicked of the earth is the oppressor, the white man. He is the wicked of the earth. And if it ain't him, who is it? Who is it? Who's the one, that tells us that homosexuality is an alternative way of living? Who told us that it was all right to abort our babies, man, and to go and intermarry and have sex with different nations, man? The oppressor did. He's the one. He's the one that's the wicked on the earth, man. Read on.
Oh God. He covered the faces of the judges thereof.
He covered the faces of the judges thereof. Now let me get Romans 1 and 25. Let me get the book of Romans chapter 1 and 25. Because he's the one that covered the faces of the judges thereof, man. He's the one that don't want us to know that the priests and prophets, man, look like us. I went over last time I taught, that the Most High God, Yahweh, is a black man in spirit, man. It's Daniel 7 and 9. We know that Jesus Christ, Yahweh Shah Mashiach, is a black man, man. That's Revelation, the first chapter and the 13th to 15th verse. We went over that. They don't want us to know that. That's why he covered the faces of the judges thereof. Because this is the last thing they want us to know. They know that they can't imprison you. They can't deceive you. If we understood, the Bible holds our records and our history. Read what you got.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 1 and verse 25.
Mm-hmm.
Who changed the truth of God into a lie?
Who changed the truth of God into a lie? The oppressor is the one that changed the truth of God into a lie. The oppressor is the one that told us that Jesus Christ, the greatest man that ever walked this earth, was an oppressor, man. And that's a goddamn lie.
Right.
It's a goddamn lie, man. And I'm going to go over that too. I'm going to go over how that came to be because this is the history class. I'm going to show you how Isupk became, Christ, on why the oppressor did that. And guess what? It's actually biblical. It's actually in the Bible, and I can show it to you. Read on.
God. And worship and serve the creature more than the creator.
And worship and serve the creature more than the creator. Now, how does he worship and serve the creature more than the creator? I'll tell you how. You worship and serve the creature more than the creator by not keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. But you know what you do? You do eat pork. You are going to celebrate Labor Day. You are going to celebrate Halloween and Thanksgiving, the mass genocide of our First Nation brothers and sisters. You are going to celebrate Christmas. Goes to show you, man, you despise the Most High. You do. You worship and serve the creature. You serve the creature, man. You serve man. You serve the oppressor more than the creator. And guess what? You do that every time you go to that church. You do. You serve the creature every time you go to church and you go say, hallelujah, hush, blah, 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 blah. I'm passing out. I'm catching the Holy Spirit. Give me a break, man. Give me a break, black man, First Nation, Hispanic man and woman. Now is the time to wake up and stop being childish. It's time to stop being a child. It is. Now we have to understand and come back to our identity. Because the problem is we are a people that are robbed and spoiled. What I mean by robbed and spoiled, we don't know who the hell we are. If I asked you, now, matter of fact, this is a homework assignment for everybody that's in the class. Ask your man's or your homegirl what's their nationality, and I guarantee you they're going to give you like 5 to 10 different answers. I had homies that gave me, church denominations, Barzo. I was like, what's your nationality, brother? He was like, oh, I'm a Baptist. I'm a Methodist. Sister told me she was a 7-day Adventist. I said, damn, sis, I asked for your nationality, not where you congregate. Because our people don't even understand our identity and what happened to us. We have no clue. When we have no idea, you know what I mean, that our nationality is child of God, prince and princess of the power, man. That's our identity, being a prince of God, black man, Hispanic man, First Nation man. And if you a sister, a princess of the Most High, man. Understand this. We walking around here thinking we niggas and spicks and savages. When those are bywords, we become bywords to the oppressor, man. We have. And we hold dear to their philosophies and their way of life. When it's time for us to examine ourselves and realize that the American way of life, the way of the oppressor, is not for us, black man, Hispanic man, First Nation man and woman. In fact, it's actually time to separate. We had no business joining onto them in the beginning. I'm going to say something that's kind of taboo for a lot of our new students. We grow up believing that segregation was wrong. You know what I mean? It was evil, when segregation was a great thing. And I'm going to tell you why. Because when we were segregated, we were forced to love black and Hispanic and First Nation men and women. Right. We were forced, you know what I mean, to shop at our businesses, patronize our businesses, and support them. And the money circulated in our community. Now who gets the money in our community? The Chinese man? The Japanese man? Come on now. The Arab man, the East Indian man. When we supposed to do this, let me get Leviticus 20 and 26. This is what we supposed to do. Segregation is good, and it's in the Bible. We sitting up here thinking that we can be equals at the oppressor's table, when why the hell would I want to be equal with a man that is beneath me? Because guess what, black man, Hispanic man, and woman, the oppressor is beneath you, and so is every other heathen, and I'm going to prove it according to the Bible. The scriptures say prove all things. I'm not just up here saying it. I will show you in the scriptures. Read.
God is the book of Leviticus, chapter 20. Verse 26, and ye shall be holy unto me.
Now let's take the Christianity off of holy. Let's take the dogma off of holy. Holy means to be separate, set apart. Now, the Lord is saying, ye shall be holy unto me, meaning you shall be set apart from me, separate. You shall be separate unto me. Who is the Lord talking to? The Lord is talking to Israel. He ain't talking to everybody. He ain't talking to the oppressor. He ain't talking to the Asians or the Africans. He ain't talking, you know what I mean, to the Filipinos. He ain't talking to the East Indians. He's talking to blacks and Hispanics and First Nation men and women. He shall be separate unto me. Read on.
Okay. For I, the Lord, am holy.
For I, the Lord, am holy, meaning God is separate. God is separate. They try to make it seem like we had a devil come up to us and say, well, you're racist. You're making it, these are evil men. God loves everybody. And that is nowhere to be found. You cannot find anywhere in the Bible God loving any other race of people besides blacks and Hispanics and First Nation men and women. God only loves us. That's the problem with our people in Islam and Christianity. You want, and Officer Zawad, Preaching Officer 500 puts it best. He says this at camp all the time, that we make it out God to be like our personal genie in a bottle. That he has to do everything we command him. Like we just command the Most High to give us 3 wishes. When who the hell are we? Who the hell are we? The Lord is our Father, man. Like Christ said in Matthew, our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Meaning the Lord is our Father. He ain't everybody's father. He's not your father. I'm not your father. Understand this. We all have children, right? If you tell your child, right, don't go down the street and play with them knuckleheads on the corner, and they do it, are you going to beat the ass of every kid on that block, or are you going to beat your child's ass? Think about that for a minute. That's how you know that the Most High God is our Father, man. He's our Father. Shema Yasha'Allah Yahweh Elohayim Yahweh Akkad. Meaning our God is one God, black man, Hispanic man, First Nation man and woman, and he's ours. He's our Father. And we're being punished because we disobeyed him when we were supposed to be separate unto him because the Most High is separate. Bingo. That's what you want me to say. That's what the Lord is saying right here. I'm separate. Now, if we're separate and the Lord's separate, where do the other nations fit in? I guess they don't. Stop trying to give our salvation to heathens who don't give a damn about you. They don't. They don't care about us. You know what the oppressor loves us to do? They love us to kill each other and sing and dance. If we're not doing those three things, guess what? We have no use for the oppressor. Well, guess what? There's going to come a time where the oppressor is going to have to sing and dance for us. They're going to have to sing and dance for Barzal. They're going to have to sing and dance, you know what I mean, for Ibad Hayah. They're going to have to sing and dance for us, black man, Hispanic man, First Nation man and woman, because we are above them. We trying to give them our salvation, trying to give them, you know what I mean, trying to give them, you know what I mean, have them up and be in the kingdom with us, ruling beside us. No, that can't be. And I'm going to go into that as well. Understand the Lord is saying that he is separate and we're separate unto him. Read on.
God, and have severed you from other people.
Now, I was to sever my arm, right, from my body. My arm wouldn't be a part of my body no more. Now, that means the Lord took us, severed us from other people, and read on.
God, and that ye shall be mine.
That ye shall be mine. Because we belong to God. We belong to the Most High. We believe in, you know what I mean, that we're all equal. God loves everybody. It's the hardest thing in the world to understand, right? That God only loves that black man that's in the ghetto, that Hispanic man and woman that's in the barrio, and that First Nation man and woman catching hell on the reservation. We're the only people God cares about. You don't give a damn about these other nations. Now, I know what some of you think. I know what you're thinking. I can read minds if you don't understand by now. I know in your Christian heart you're saying, but what about Adam? We all come from Adam. That's in the Bible. That's history. Now, what if I told you the Lord doesn't give a damn about everybody that comes out of Adam? Now let me get 2 Ezra 6 and 54. Because what our people don't understand, right? They believe just because everybody that came from Adam, that God is just required to love everybody. And that is a lie. That's a bold-faced lie that we have been told for far too long. They're always pushing, but what about the Arab man and woman? What about the Lebanese man and woman catching hell, those refugees? What about the Asians? Stop Asian hate. The hell with all of that. Sometimes I think, you know what I mean, that we just wake up, you know what I mean? If I could, how could I put this? Sometimes I really, really sit back and I'd be like, damn, we must really have short-term memory loss. We do. Because we look at, and it goes to show you that these other nations aren't human. They're not. They're not human at all. They're not. They're monsters. I'm going to tell you why. We have sympathy, you know what I mean, for the loss of life of any people naturally, because we are God's chosen people. We can look at what happens to these other nations and say, damn, that's messed up. But when it happens to us, we just like, oh, man, our heart is hardened towards our brother, man. And not understanding that's a curse from God. The problem is we tend to forget about that Hispanic man and woman that's suffering in cages right now at the border. We tend to forget, you know what I mean, about our First Nation brothers and sisters who are going through hell, drinking themselves to death. You know how many First Nation women are snatched off of reservations, man, by oppressors, by truckers, and then sold into sex trafficking? You know how many times that happens to our sisters, man? The number is insane. The same thing with our Black and Hispanic women too. But we don't give a damn about this, about our people. We just want to have sympathy for everybody else. Now let me show you in the Bible how God feels about these other nations. Full disclosure, we do not give a damn about Stop Asian Hate. Let me explain something to y'all. I need y'all to look me in my eyes, Israel, when I say this. I feel cheated, Barzal, personally. I do. Let me tell you why I feel cheated. Because for years, I thought Asians could fight. I did. I felt like I was lied to, Barzal. All them Kung Fu movies, all the Bruce Lee movies. And you mean to tell me that Bruce Lee is a Chinese Steven Seagal? He was just an actor. You mean to tell me it was all up front, like, you know, that video that Commander General Yohana did, exposing the Asians, man, how they called the Asians the model minority. Well, they're not as smart as they say they are. They looked it up. They did the numbers, man. The Commander General Yohana brought it out. They inflate them test scores with them Asians, man. They're slow. They're really slow. I was walking with Barzal one time, and I was a young 50. And Moab was out there, you know what I mean, with an umbrella. And what Barzal, like 100-degree weather. And like it'd be fun of me. I was like, man, they really are slow. They are. And we supposed to give a damn about them? How soon can we forget about all of the sisters that got their ass whooped, slacking for the language, by the Chinese and the Koreans and the Japanese and the nail salons? How are we soon to forget that if you go into that restaurant and you short $1, you're not getting that 4 wings and fried rice. You're not getting that Tom and Jerry. You ain't gonna get it. You ain't getting that cat and that dog. Right. It's a shame what they doing in them dogs in them stores, bro. I'm trying to tell you. Right. You're not gonna get it because they hate us. One Chinese man shot a 6-year-old black boy in Detroit, Michigan last month. I didn't forget about it. And that did not make front page news, which shocked me. This Asian man shot one of our brothers, man. And little brother was so cold about it too. He said, man, he tried to hit me with a sledgehammer, but I dodged it. And I was too fast. And then he shot me, boom. Goes to show you they hate us, man, but we want to stand in the forefront and fight for them. The hell with Asian hate. I'm going to stand up for my Hispanic brothers that's locked up in goddamn cages. That's who I'm going to stand up for. I'm going to stand up for that First Nation man and woman that's suffering in the barrel in the reservation. I'm going to stand up for my black and Hispanic brothers that's in the same ghetto and the same barrio as me, man. The hell with these other nations. Let me show you what God says about these heathens. Read what you got, Barzal.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6 and 54. Mm-hmm. And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures.
Adam was made Lord of all thy creatures, meaning this. Adam was not the first man on the earth. He was not the first man. He was the first brother in the truth, though. There was people long before Adam, man. Look, the Most High brought Adam up from the dust, brought him up from a low state, man, and gave Adam the truth, man. Read on.
Oh, God. Of him come we all.
Here's what your Christian mind is saying, but of him come we all. You see, you dying, we all come from Adam. I told you, brother. Read on, please.
Oh, God. And the people also whom thou hast chosen.
And the people also whom thou hast what?
Chosen.
Who are the people that whom thou hast chosen? I'll tell you who the people are. Where are those people? Black man, Hispanic man and woman. That's First Nation man and woman. We're the people whom the Lord chose. The Lord only chose us. Read on.
All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes.
The world was made for our sakes. World meaning age or society. Understand this. This age and society was made for us. The oppressor is not supposed to be ruling, man. He's not. He's an evil bastard. The scriptures say when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. But when the righteous bear authority, the people rejoice. The entire earth is going to rejoice when Black and Hispanic and First Nation men are going to rule the earth under our King, Yahweh Shah Mashiach. And how do you know that the people are mourning? Everybody is mourning because the oppressor is a liar and a murderer, man. Right. He rapes and destroys everywhere he goes. The oppressor brings hell with him everywhere. Read on.
God. Verse 56. As for the other people.
As for the other people. Now, I ain't forget about Bill and Bob and Freddie and Adam and Tiff and Ashley, you know what I mean, and Amber and Susan, Nofutu Nungala, the Black Panther, Habibi and the Arab chicken spot. I ain't forget about them. Read on.
Which also come of Adam.
Which also come from Adam, because we all come from Adam. As for the other people, read on.
Thou hast said that they are nothing.
It sounds like the Lord said that they something, Barzal. Read that again.
Thou hast said that they are nothing.
Thou hast said that they are nothing. Our people love and revere African people and culture. But guess what? They are nothing. They're nothing. You know who else is nothing? The Asians, the oppressor, the Arabs. They are nothing according to our God. Read on.
Oh God. But be like unto spittle.
But be like unto spittle, like spit. The Lord said these other nations are like spit. Think about how many times you spit a day and don't care. How many times you've been talking, you know what I mean, or doing something and you just spit. That's the Lord. He don't give a damn about these other nations. He spit Adam and Amber and Susan out. He spit Namfutu and Ngala, the Black Panther. He spit them out. He spit Habibi, you know what I mean, and Ishmael out, not giving a damn about them. Read on.
Oh God. and has likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel.
Now, they are all like one drop of spit, one glob of spit that fell from a vessel. Read on.
And now, O Lord, behold these heathen, which have ever been reputed as nothing.
Meaning, Ezra now is like, yo, these heathen have a reputation as nothing. Ezra knew. He's like, how the hell are these heathen ruling over us? And they are nothing according to our God. Read on.
Have begun to be lords over us and to devour us.
He said, man, how the hell did Adam and Tim become rulers over us? How the hell did Phil get in charge? How the hell, you know what I mean, did these heathen get in charge and become lords over us? All of us have what you call an elevator plantation. I don't like to call them jobs because it's not a real job. My real job is being a priest and prophet in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under Command of General Yohanan. Being a priest of the Most High. That is my job. That thing that I go to make money, that is an elevator plantation. That is a slavery. That is what we call it, man. Now, how the hell do they become lords over us? And which kills me, you don't want to say con on a one count or concert to your brother, what you should do. Because it's brotherly, man, because rank and order is in the Bible. But you say sir to McDaniel and McGillicuddy. You'll say sir to the oppressor. You'll say sir to Bruce Lee. Brothers, are the fact that our people revere these heathens like they can do nothing wrong astounds me. And nobody's asking the real question, but Ezra, like, yo, how did they become lords over us? Can I get Jeremiah 17 and verse 4? Yeah. How did these people become lords over us? How did that happen? Like, and I feel Ezra on this. It's like, yo, Lord, what happened? What happened with this? Why is he in charge? Why is the oppressor in rulership right now? Why do we have to answer to him? What's going on? Read.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17 and verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine inheritance.
Let me explain. Lord is saying, thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thy inheritance. What is our inheritance? You have to understand, man, all the Lord's laws, statutes, and commandments, man, that's our inheritance. The Lord chose us and brought us back, you know what I mean, into our land, man. The land right now is crying because you got them homosexual devils and Arabs over there fighting. And that land don't belong to neither one of them, man. That land belongs to us. We've been discontinued from our inheritance. That's why if I ask you what's your nationality, you're going to tell me you a Seventh-day Adventist. You're going to tell me you African-American when you're not a descendant of Leo Scipio's Africanus, a Roman conqueror, a devil, or Amerigo's Vespucci, an Italian explorer. Right. You're not two oppressors. You're not Puerto Rican. Right. You're not rich port. That's what Puerto Rico means. Rich port. When they dropped the Taino Indian off over there in Puerto Rico, the conquistador and Cortez and them boys named it. Man, this is an island of rich ports. Let's name them Puerto Rican, Puerto Rico. We call bywords now because we've been discontinued from our inheritance. Now the oppressor is in our land dictating things. Right. Now they tell us, you know what I mean, that our history begins with slavery, and that's a lie. Right. That is not how our history begins, Black man, Hispanic man, First Nation man and woman. And you're in the right place to learn about our history.
Right. That I gave thee.
That I gave who?
Thee.
That I gave thee. Meaning the Lord gave this to us. Right. He ain't give it to everybody. Right. He gave it to our people, man. That I gave thee. Read on.
And I will cause thee to serve. And I will cause thee to serve thine enemies.
To serve thy enemies. Who are our enemies? These other nations are our enemies. The oppressor is our enemy. Like it or not, he's our enemy. Right. So is the African. So is the Asian. So is the East Indian. Right. So is the Arab. So is the Samoan and the Tongans. They are our enemies. And we are serving them to this day. And a lot of our people don't even understand it. You don't. Even older brothers and sisters, I don't even know if they realize it. Like if you ever go back to talk back to an oppressor, talk behind his back, they're like, oh boy, you shouldn't do that. He'll hear you. Keep your voice down. Tim is a good boss. Phil is good to us. You're like, what? Nigga, don't you know that we are in slavery? Like, we are in an elevator. We are in an elevator plantation right now. The hell with this oppressor. The hell with this devil, man.
Right.
We are serving our enemies and we don't even know it. You don't even know it. How do you serve your enemies? You have bills. Like, if you don't pay that electric bill, Pico is going to cut your electricity off. And we all behind. Lord knows I'm behind too, Israel. I'm behind on my Pico bill as well. Understand this, man. You can't even go outside and collect rainwater. Go out there and collect rainwater and see what happens. Your oppressor may come and put his knee on your neck. Your oppressor might murder you where you stand if you want to collect rainwater. Try to have a garden in front of your house and watch your oppressor come and shut it down. Goes to show you, man, we are serving our enemies to this day.
Right.
We are. And this is history, man. This is the history class, and we're going over. How do you know you serve your enemy? You go and you pray, you know what I mean, to a homosexual bastard. And now let me share. How do you serve your enemy? I'll show you right here. This right here, I'm getting ready to share. Once again, if y'all have any questions, make sure y'all type them in. I'll be answering y'all questions tonight. Bear with me. Now, this is how you serve your enemies to this day. Now, the devil on the right is the same as the devil that's on the left. The devil on the right name is Cesar Borgia. Caesar Borgia, man. Son of Rodrigo Borgia, who became Pope Alexander. You know what I mean? And understand this. Understand this. This devil right here that you see is a homosexual, a pedophile, raped his own sister.
Right.
And when this pedophile died, right, his father, and as a matter of fact, I'll share an image of Rodrigo too, whose name was later changed to Pope Alexander. Now, bear with me. Bear with me 1 second while I share my screen. Now, take note of this devil right here, right? That is Pope Alexander. Now, he's the father of Caesar Borgia. And guess what he did? He changed the image of his son that died because his son was a homosexual and a sexual deviant and the devil that the Bible speaks of like him. Right. When his son Caesar Borgia died, he made him into Christ. He commissioned Michelangelo. And I'm not talking about that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle neither. Let me get Wisdom of Solomon 14 and verse 15. He commissioned Michelangelo to make his son Caesar Borgia in the image of Jesus Christ. And guess what? Even that itself is history. And guess what? That history is also recorded in the Bible. Now, can I have what you got, Barzo? Wisdom of Solomon 14 and 15? I'm going to show you in the Bible that he did this. And the heavy thing about it, which heavy about it, you know what I mean, is the fact that he turned his son Caesar into Christ. Understand this, that Christ's been here before. And we're about to read in Wisdom of Solomon. I mean, Solomon said this. And it's heavy because Christ was Solomon, man, in the regeneration. Christ was here before. I'll go over this in another class if y'all need me to break it down. You know what I mean? Regeneration, aka reincarnation, is real, man. You've been here before. You just have no remembrance of former things. Christ was here as Adam, Melchizedek. He was here as Isaac. He was here as Solomon. And he came last time as Jesus Christ, Yahweh Shah Mashiach. Now, let's read Wisdom of Solomon 14 and 15.
This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14, verse 15. For a father afflicted with ultimately mourning.
Now, a father afflicted with untimely mourning. This father was afflicted with untimely mourning. His child just died. This father is crying. He's crying, bawling his eyes out, mourning because his child passed away. Read on.
when he had made an image of his child soon taken away.
Now, he made an image of his child soon taken away. How did he make that image of his child soon taken away? I'll show you. I'll show you. Read on.
God. Now honored him as a God.
Now honored him as a what?
As a God.
Now honored him as a God. Now he's honored as a God. And how do you know that he's honored as a God? Now you have this bastard. Now you have Caesar Borgia. Honored him as a God. Salakia. Wrong image. Put up the icons. Bear with me. Bear with me. Now honored him as a God. Now here's the heavy thing about it. The heavy thing is that it's recorded in the Bible. Now you have this bastard right here. You got Caesar Borgia honored as the God of blacks, Hispanics, and First Nation man and women. Now he's our God. Crazy, ain't it? Read it again from the top.
For a father afflicted with untimely mourning.
His father was afflicted with untimely mourning, man. Untimely mourning. His son passed away. Read on.
When he had made an image of his child soon taken away.
He made an image of his child soon taken away. Meaning now he's making his child into a God because his child died, you know what I mean, at a young age. Read on.
Now honor him as a God.
Now you honor Caesar Borgia as a God. Because that man is a God to blacks and Hispanics. His image is all throughout the church. Read on.
Which was then a dead man.
Which was then a dead man, because he's dead. Caesar Borgia is dead, man. He's out of here. Read on.
And delivered to those that were under him ceremonies and sacrifices.
Delivered unto him ceremonies and sacrifices. Heavy, ain't it? Now he's given to him ceremonies and sacrifices. Now, if I could, I'm going to answer your question, sis. Barzal, can you get me 1 Corinthians 15 and verse 45? And then I want you to hold Matthew 1 and 1. Sis had a question about a breakdown on Yahweh also being Solomon and Adam. I'll show it to you in the Bible. Now, what a lot of our people don't understand, right? And this is why the priests and the prophets in the Israelite school of UPK are the real priests and prophets of God. And to show you how your pastor is not qualified to teach you nothing. You ain't believe, right? When you die, you go to that great old big by and by in the sky, Barzal. You know what I mean? Just like in slavery time, just like Sunday. They used to always say, back during the time of slavery, man. You know what I mean? When we had the physical chains on it, that heaven was going to be like Sunday. Because we wouldn't be slaves up there floating around with them fat angels. When you die, you go into the ground and turn to dust. Your spirit is sent forth to the Most High and it's judged, and then you come right back. Come right back. And guess what? You don't change. You don't become a different tribe or nothing like that. You don't become an oppressor. You come back, you know what I mean, the same tribe, and you're going to come back a man if you was a man. And if you was a woman, you're going to come back a woman. So if you was a sister from the tribe of Levi, you're going to come back as another sister from the tribe of Levi. If you a brother from the tribe of Isupk, when you die, you're going to come back as Isupk. You're not about the tribe jump or nothing like that or become a heathen. One sister told me, Barzal, when she dies, she's going to become an oak tree. I said, well, goddamn, sis, good night. Let me get 1 Corinthians 15 and 45. For sure.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 15 and verse 45. And so it is written, the first man, Adam, was made a living soul.
The first man, Adam, was made a living soul. What does it mean that the first man, Adam, was made a living soul? When it says the first man, Adam, was made a living soul, meaning this: Adam was given the breath of life. Adam was given life. Adam was walking around like everybody else, the walking dead. But the Lord gave Adam life, gave him the breath of life, which is the truth, man. Read on.
The last Adam was made a quickening spirit.
Now, the last Adam, who is the last Adam? That's the first thing. Who is the last Adam? And it says he was made a quickening spirit, meaning the last Adam was going to be able to save life. And who was that last Adam that saved life? Our King, Yahweh Shah Mashiach.
Right.
That's Acts 5 and 30 through 31. That's Matthew 1 and 21, where he shall save his people, man. That's Matthew 1 and 21. Acts 5 and 30, the God of our fathers raised up Jesus, man. Raised up our King. The last Adam, which is Christ. The first Adam was given life. And the last Adam is going to be able to save life. Meaning Christ is going to atone for the wrong that he made as Adam, following after his rib, man. Following after the serpent who was the oppressor. Now Christ can right that wrong and save the lives of blacks, Hispanics, and First Nation men and women. Now let me get Matthew 1 and 1.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 1 and verse 1. The book of the generation of Jesus Christ.
Now, the book of the generation of Jesus Christ. Another lie that they like to say, right, is that Christ, you know what I mean, is the actual son of the Most High. Like they believe in that Greek mythology and that Egyptian mythology where the God came down and had sex with a woman. No. Christ's father is Joseph. Joseph is of the lineage of David. It said our Lord sprang out of Judah. Joseph is from the tribe of Judah, man. And he sprang out of David. Meaning if Christ has a lineage, a generations, right? Meaning Christ had a father. Now this is the book of the generation of Jesus Christ. Read on.
The son of David.
Who is the son of David? Why is it saying that Christ was of the son of David? The book of the generation of Jesus Christ, the son of David. How could Christ be the son of David? How could he be the son of David? I'll explain. Who was the son of David? Solomon was the son of David.
Right.
Read on.
The son of Abraham.
The son of Abraham. Now, who was the son of Abraham? Isaac. So how could Christ be the son of Abraham and the son of David? How can that be? I'll tell you why. Because Christ was Solomon and Christ was Isaac. Right. Paraphrasing, you know what I mean? In the scriptures, it says that Christ is the king of priests, man. The prince of peace. You know who else was the king of peace? King of Salem? Melchizedek. And that's why Christ changed the priesthood over to Melchizedek, the order of Melchizedek, because Christ was Adam, Melchizedek, Isaac, and Solomon. Christ's been here before, like us. And to show you, you know, more reincarnation, you know what I mean, regeneration in the Bible. John the Baptist was here, John the Baptist was here before as well. John the Baptist was Elijah. The angel of the Lord came, you know what I mean, to Zechariah, you know what I mean, Elizabeth, and told them, you know what I mean, that their child John, you know what I mean, was going to be Elijah, with the full and power and might of Elijah. Meaning John the Baptist was Elijah, you know what I mean? Right. Goes to show you that the regeneration is real. I hope that answers your question, sis. Now, let's get back into the topic. Now you serving Caesar Borgia. Now you're looking at him, honoring him as our God. How the hell did the oppressor become the gods of blacks, Hispanics, and First Nation men and women when all of these other nations have their own gods? Right. And understand this, these other nations all have their own gods, right? But guess what? Between you and me, they're nothing. Right. And I can show it to you in the Bible. I get Psalms 96 and verse 5.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 96. Chapter 96 and verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
So I get it.
Mm-hmm.
For all the gods of the nations are idols.
For all the gods of the nations are idols. Meaning this, I got the bar, sis. All the gods of the nations are idols. Now let me explain something else to you. I know our people love, Islam. For some reason, it's a poor sister that's getting ready to, take her shahada right now. Guess what? The Quran is a comic book. I collect comic books, Barzal. Like I'm an avid, like to share something personal with Israel. I'm an avid comic book collector, like Marvel, DC, independent, black-owned comics. I love it. Little manga, anime here and there. But the Quran is a comic book too. It's a fairy tale that the Arabs created. And our people don't understand that. Like the gods of these heathen nations are idols. Guess what? They don't hear, they don't see, they don't speak. They rust and mold. They do. And to show you, look at the coronavirus. When the Lord said the COVID-19, the coronavirus, which is taking form of the Delta variant, man, the Lord ain't playing with these heathens. Allah took had sick time, man. Allah had PTO time, Barzal, paid time off. You couldn't go to Mecca, man. You couldn't go. So why couldn't the God of Islam, the God of the Arabs, fix the coronavirus or predict it? They didn't predict it. Couldn't do nothing about it because the God of Israel is the one that sent it. Another one. Look at your Christian church. Everybody is bowing their face down to Caesar Borgia, that homosexual oppressor. And guess what? They couldn't have predicted the COVID-19 either because they're idols. And you know who I admire? I admire the East Indians for this reason. The East Indians threw their gods away. They threw their gods in the garbage. They did. They realized that COVID-19 came and ravaged them, and they got some black fungi over there, Barzal. That's rough. That's rough, man. They got some black fungus on them, and they already be stinking. They be in them 7-Elevens like a BBI. Crazy, ain't it? They got some black fungi, man. The Lord is messing them East Indians up. Right. And I love every bit of it because let me tell you something about the East Indians, man. The East Indians are the oppressors of our brothers and sisters, man, of the tribe of Benjamin. Over there in Jamaica and Trinidad and Tobago and St. Thomas and St. Clarence, man, guess what? The East Indians are the ones that are running things over there, man. So Barakatah Yahweh Shah, man. Right. Thank the Most High Christ, man, for sending the COVID that's jacking up these heathens, man. And we supposed to look at that and let the Lord run that course, man, and tear these heathens up, and for us to come back to our identity and learn about our history and serve the Lord the correct way. Right. You can't serve the Lord in the Christian church. You can't. Right. You just can't. You cannot abort your baby on Monday, leave your man on Tuesday. You know what I mean? Kill you, and cheat on your husband. Go out there and commit adultery, and then do all these evil things up until Sunday and get some water thrown on your face and say hallelujah, pass out and sing some songs. Do the same shit next week, slap you for the language. No, Christianity is a lazy religion, and so is Islam. Right. For the gods, read it again from the top, Barzal.
Gods, the book of Psalms, chapter 96, verse 4. The Lord, for looks like. Verse 5. For all the gods of the nations are idols.
For all the gods of the nations are idols. They are idols, man. They're idols. Allah is not real. He's the figment of the Arabs' imagination.
Right.
White Jesus ain't real. Throw him in the garbage. Right. Matter of fact, I actually want to go into the Bible and show you some instances, of the heathens trying to get over and to show you just how powerless these gods are. Let's drop that. Let's go to 1 Kings chapter 18 and verse 21. Let's go into Elijah. Now, Elijah, man, was from the tribe of Levi, man, a powerful priest. The prophet, man. Guess what? Elijah came up against the prophets of Baal. Came up against them, man. And everybody, Israel was damn near conflicted. They like, damn, should we follow, our God, Yahweh, the one, that parted the Red Sea, the one that brought us up out of Egypt, or should we bow down to Baal? Now, let's go to 1 Kings 18 and start at verse 21.
This is the book of 1 Kings, chapter 18, verse 21. Mm-hmm. And Elijah came unto the people and said, how long halt ye between two opinions?
Now, Elijah was like, how long are we going to be sitting here in between these two opinions? Let me put it in black terms. Elijah came outside and went like, yo, how long y'all niggas going to be indecisive? Like, y'all really out here bowing your face down to Baal. Elijah was a hardcore prophet, man. Elijah was a hardcore brother. Like he was like, yo, what is going on with y'all? How long are y'all gonna sit here? You know what I mean? Read on.
Come. And said, how long halt ye between two opinions?
Mm-hmm.
If the Lord be God, follow him.
If the Lord be God, follow him. Meaning, if our God is God, if Yahweh is God, follow the Most High. Read on.
Come. But if by all, then follow him.
Now, Elijah is setting them up for failure. He's saying, listen, man, if it's Baal, follow him. Read on.
Come. And the people answered them not a word.
They got quiet. They got real quiet because it is so easy to follow these other gods because guess what? Baal doesn't care, and Baal represents all of these heathen gods, man. All of these heathen gods, man. The Lord said, y'all shall have no other gods before me. You following Baal, right? It's no different than being a Christian or a Muslim. Baal ain't gonna make you, you know what I mean? The Baal don't care if you eat pork, shrimp, crab, or lobster, or be a sexual deviant, or be a murderer, or a lying bastard. Baal don't care. You can be yourself. You can be free with Baal. But with that God of Israel, that God right there, Barzal, you can't eat no shrimp, crab, pork, and lobster. You can't do that. You can't abort your babies. You can't hate your brother and your sister.
Right.
That's why they answered him not a word, because it's too convenient. You know what I mean? To follow after these heathens and their customs and their gods. Read on.
Come. Then said Elijah unto the people, even I only, remain a prophet unto the Lord.
He said, read that again. That is heavy. That is heavy. I gotta get my capture power bags up on. I'm like, that's heavy, man. He said, read on.
Come. Then said Elijah unto the people, even I only, remain a prophet of the Lord.
Elijah is saying, I only remain a prophet of the Lord, man. I alone. Elijah was standing 10 toes down deep in this truth, man. It was just him. And he like, man, I don't need nothing else. And it goes to show you, and I need you to understand this, black man, Hispanic man, First Nation man and woman. I need you to understand this point because it's heavy. It's one of Elijah. Let's see how many people are following Baal, or how many prophets Baal got. Read on.
But Baal's prophets are 450 men.
How many prophets of Baal there is?
450 men.
There are 450 men that are claiming to be prophets of Baal. 450 of them claiming to be prophets of Baal, and it's just one brother, one Israelite, man, Elijah, who's standing strong with the Lord, man. Elijah is like, man, the hell with Baal. I got my God. It's the same thing with King David, man, when he came up against that African. He came up against Goliath. He said everybody was so upset. You know what I mean? Like, damn, like, you see this African that came up against us? You know what I mean? And he was blaspheming. Goliath was blaspheming the name of the Lord, man. Talking all types of trash. And David came outside like, yo, who is he? Who is he to be talking this about us, man? Wow. Be talking this about our God, man. Our power, man. David was offended, man. And Elijah was offended. Like, who the hell are y'all, man? Right. All you need is our God, man. The Lord said he'd be an enemy unto our enemy and an adversary to our adversaries. Now, it's one of Elijah and 450 prophets of Baal. Read on.
Come on. Let them, therefore, give us 2 bullocks.
Now, he's like, now, let's settle the score for a minute. Now, let's see something. Elijah's like, let me put something to the test real quick. Read on.
And let them choose 1 bullock for themselves, and cut it in pieces, and lay it on the wood, and put no fire under it.
Now, he said, let's get a bullock, right? Lay it on wood. Go out there and get a bull. Lay it on wood, man, and don't lay no fire. And let's see whose God is real. Fair challenge, right? It's 450 of them. It's only one of Elijah. Read on.
And I will dress the other bullock and lay it on wood and put no fire.
He said, I'm going to do the same thing on the other bullock, and I ain't going to put no fire on it. Read on.
And call ye on the name of your gods, and I will call on the name of the Lord.
Elijah is saying, I'm going to call on Yahweh. I'm going to let you call on Baal, whatever gods you want to call on, and let's see who the real God is. Let's see, you know what I mean, who the people should be following. Read on.
Of God. And let the God that answereth by fire, let him be God.
Elijah is saying, and the God that answer with fire, let him be God. We're about to find out who is God. We're about to find out who is real. The Most High or Baal. Round one, let's go. Read.
Of God. And all the people answered and said, it is well spoken.
He said, it's well spoken. They said, so be it. Let's do it, Elijah. It's only one of you. It's 450 of us. We're all going to light that fire. And you know, the people out there, Israel, you know how we is. You know how we is. I can just see it, Barzal. I know we ain't got no form of remembrance, but I know how Israel is. I know it's niggas out there like, yo, it's only one of Elijah. It's 450 of them thinking carnally. You thinking carnally because they got higher numbers. And you know who that reminds me of? That reminds me of your homosexual pastor and your homosexual fake Israelites. Because you believe having strength in numbers, you go out there and have marches. You go out there and have marches masquerading in the oppressor's purple, looking like a Roman triumphant, twerking and everything, you know what I mean, for his congregation and his people. It goes to show you, Barzal. Yeah, he ain't a prophet of God. Nasty Nate ain't a prophet of God. Right. All that marching, thinking that numbers, you know what I mean, to do something for you, man. And numbers don't mean nothing. How do you know numbers don't mean nothing? When the Lord is with you, who could be against you? Right. Who could be against you? That's why Elisha said, Lord, open that young brother's eye that he could see. And he saw the armies of the Lord, a host, man. He saw chariots of fire getting ready to descend upon heathens, man. How do you think Samson slew 1,000 Africans with the jawbone of an ass? I'll give you one modern day. How do you think 8 brothers in Louisville, Kentucky, how did 8 brothers take on hundreds of hordes of uncircumcised heathens? I'll tell you why. Because the Most High God Yahweh is with the priests and prophets of the Israelite school of UPK. The same way the Lord is with Elijah, the same way the Lord was with Elisha, the same way the Lord was with Peter and Matthew and John and Paul. Read on.
God. And Elijah said unto the prophets of Baal, choose one bullock of yourselves and dress it first, for ye are many, and call on the name of your gods.
And Elijah has used that against him. He said, you know what? I'm going to let y'all go first. I'm going to fall back, let y'all go first. It's many of y'all. It's just me. It's just me out here. Y'all go ahead and go first and do that. Let's see something. Now you're about to find out. When I was reading this chapter, when I had Captain Shapar break this down to me, Akim and Aquafil, I realized that we really are the people of the Bible. Because what Elijah does further down, this what made me realize that Black and Hispanics, we are the children of the Most High. Read on.
But put no fire under. Verse 26. And they took the bullock which was given to them, and they dressed it and called on the name of Baal.
They dressed it and called upon the name of Baal. They called on Baal. Now it was 450 of them calling on Baal. I need y'all to understand that. It's 450 of them. They calling on Baal. Read on.
Oh God. From morning, evening until noon.
Oh man, from morning even till noon. Goddamn, Barzal, that's a shift. They was calling on Baal for a shift, man. From morning till noon. Well, goddamn. Read on.
God. Say, O Baal, hear us. But there was no voice.
There was what?
No voice.
There was no voice, man. There was no voice. Baal did not answer them, man. Baal ain't answer them. Which goes to show you what about Baal? Read on.
God. Nor any that answered.
Nor any that answered, meaning Baal and none of them false gods was able to answer. Read on.
And they leaped upon the altar which was made.
They did what?
They leaped upon the altar which was made.
They leaped upon the altar of that which is made. Now let me ask y'all a question, Israel. Who does that today? Who does that today? Does Kirk Franklin homosexual self not leap and dance up on the pulpit? Ain't that what your pastor do? Ain't that what your preacher do? Ain't that what your silly imam do? Don't they jump up and down, showing the world that they fasting and slamming their face onto the ground and jumping around, saying Allah, Salaam Alaikum. Oh, praise white Jesus, jumping around, screaming and dancing. Somebody's poor auntie. I know my poor auntie. I know your poor. A lot of y'all aunties and mamas is in the church too. In there with them silly feathered hats on, looking crazy as hell, catching the so-called Holy Spirit, jumping all over the damn pulpit, jumping on the altar, passing out, having WWF up in their bars on. That's what our prophets of Baal is doing right now. They jumping up on the table. Like they jumping up and down and everything, screaming to Baal. And no answer. Read on.
And it came to pass at noon that Elijah mocked them.
And Elijah did what?
Mocked them.
Elijah did what?
Mocked them.
Elijah mocked them. Elijah was talking shit. Salami for the language, Israel. Elijah was talking crazy to them. Elijah was talking trash. Which goes to show you, man. Elijah was a black man. Goes to show you this is our book, man. This is our history. Elijah mocked them. Elijah made fun of them. Like, I need y'all to understand. Like, I need you to understand. Like, I know how some of y'all like to watch them videos online of a brother, a funny brother, like Tony Baker or somebody. Dave Chappelle, Red Fox or Richard Pryor, making fun of people and talking trash. That's what Elijah's doing. He like, look at these niggas right here jumping up and down on the pulpit, screaming and hollering. Elijah start mocking them as he should. Read on.
And said, cry aloud, for he is a God.
He said, cry aloud, for he is a God. He said, you got to cry aloud. Maybe he can't hear you, man. You got to call it on Baal. Cry aloud, man. He's a God. Read on.
Either he is talking, or he is pursuing, or he is in a journey, or a pre-adventure, he's sleeping and must be awake.
Good night. Elijah is talking big stuff against them. He like, oh man, maybe Baal is sleeping. Maybe he's on a journey, on an adventure. Keep crying aloud. Come on, man. Come on, black man, Hispanic man, First Nation man and woman. Now it's time to come out of the Christian church. It's time to come out of the Muslim mosque. All that screaming, all that hollering that you do on Sunday, don't that sound familiar? Don't that sound familiar, man? Didn't Kenneth Copeland say that he was going to, destroy and rid the earth of the COVID-19? That's what Kenneth Copeland said, man. And the Lord evolved the COVID. They call it the Delta variant now, man. Kenneth Copeland ain't do nothing. He has no power to do nothing because the God of the Christian church and the Muslim mosque is no different than Baal. They sitting up there crying and screaming. And Elijah's just mocking them like, oh, man, maybe he talking to somebody. He talking to Akhenaten Barzal. He talking to Suit and Set. He talking to Osiris. He chilling. Maybe he sleep. Read on.
And they cried aloud and cut themselves.
And what?
And cut themselves.
Now they cutting themselves, Barzal. They cutting themselves like Baal, please. It's us, your prophets. It's all 400 of us. Can you imagine that? Like how sad that had to be? How sad that had to be to watch 450 people, men, crying and moaning and complaining and cutting themselves. I know Elijah had to be dying. Right. He had to be crying. I'd have been rolling. I can only imagine like that. If you was to animate this, like if you was to turn, like we Barzal was talking about this. You know how they had them series like the Bible on Netflix and Hulu? Man, they need to animate the Bible and have them like how it was in the Prince of Egypt and Joseph, King of Dreams, showing black and Hispanic men and women in the Bible, man, and animating Elijah making fun of them because they need to have him rolling on the ground. Right. Like yo, he just on a journey. Y'all cutting yourselves down? God damn, man. Y'all serious. Y'all true worshipers, man. You true believers, man. Like they say, like true believers, true Muslims pray 6 times a day instead of 3. Like your auntie, true believers wear, like 10 feathers on their head with a white robe and gown on, man. True believers give the pastor all your money while we suffer. Goes to show you, man, but all ain't nothing. It's another God, of these heathens. That's the figment of their imagination. They out there cutting themselves and complaining. And Elijah is like, I'm about to flex on them. Right. The Most High God. This right here is one of the biggest flexes I read about. Like, I can only imagine. He like, yo, I know Elijah was like, yo, I know my God. I know the Most High is about to flex on them right now and show them. Show our people. Because we're the people that you got to show. We require a sign. Which goes to show you, man, on why it's important to understand our history. And it's important to read the Bible, man. And go back and tune in the Captain of 13,000, Shapar and Apash's Clash, and all the brothers that teach history. Because it's important to us to understand our history so we don't make these same mistakes in the future. And we making them same mistakes. We in the Christian church right now. We in the Muslim mosque right now. And you know how bad the Arabs treat us, how bad the oppressor treats us, man? When these gods are nothing. Our God is real, black man, Hispanic man, First Nation man and woman. Read them.
And it's like, after their manner with knives and blankets, till the blood gushed out upon them.
They blood is gushing and flowing all over themselves, man. They out there losing their minds because Baal is not answering them. Because Baal is an idol. Baal is a figment of their imagination. Now read on. The water.
And it came to pass when midday was past.
That was midday. God damn, boy, they was out there for a double. This is like a double shift. They halfway into the double shift, and they still ain't get an answer from Baal, man. They still ain't get an answer. You mean to tell me you was out there in the morning? Then you was out there till noon. Now you out there at what? Midday? Midday is past now. Good night. Read on.
And they prophesied until the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice. That there was neither voice nor any to answer, nor any that regarded.
Now, nobody answered. No call, no text, nothing. Not even a DM. You can forget about it. Nada. Nothing from Baal. Guess whose turn it is now?
Right.
Read on.
And Elijah said unto all the people, come near unto me.
Now Elijah said, now that we done got through with this comedy show, now that we done got through with the opening act, you know what I mean, which was sheer gold, them cutting themselves and crying and complaining. Now let me show you who the real God is. Read on.
And all the people came near unto him, and he repaired the altar of the Lord that was broken down.
Now, Elijah is so hardcore, man. He's repairing the altar of the Lord that was broken down. Because our people, man, was so wicked, man. You cast down the altars of the Lord to put up altars of Baal and these heathen gods, man. Now Elijah's like, let me repair this altar of the Lord. Read on.
And Elijah took 12 stones.
Now Elijah took 12 stones. 12 stones meaning that 12 stones represent the 12 tribes of Israel. Read on.
According to the number of the tribes of the sons of Jacob, unto whom the word of the Lord came, saying, Israel shall be thy name.
Israel shall be thy name, man. That's our name, black man, Hispanic man, First Nation man and woman. Israel, Yasha Allah, princes of the power. Read on.
And with the stones, he built an altar in the name of the Lord.
He built an altar in the name of the Lord. Read on.
And he made a trench about the altar, as great as would contain 2 measures of seed. And he put the wood in order, and cut the bullock in pieces, and laid him on the wood, and said, fill 4 barrels with water, and pour it on the burnt sacrifice and on the wood. And he said, do it the second time. And they did it the second time. And he said, do it a third time. And they did it a third time.
He said, do it a second time, do it a third time. Now we're about to see what's about to happen. Read on.
And the water ran around, and the water ran round about the altar. And he filled the trench also with water. And it came to pass at the time of the offering, of the evening time of the offering, sacrifice, that Elijah the prophet came there and said, Lord God of Abraham, Isaac, and of Israel.
Lord God of Abraham, Isaac, and of Israel, meaning of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who was named later changed to Israel, meaning this is our God, the God of our forefathers and us, man. He ain't everybody's God. He ain't everybody's father. Read on.
Come. Let it be known this day that thou art God in Israel.
Read that last part again.
Let it be known this day that thou art God in Israel.
He said, let it be known this day that thou art God in Israel. He said, now let's let all our people know that you are our God, man. Read on.
Come. And that I am thy servant. And that I have done all these things at thy word.
Elijah said, I am thy servant. Understand, man, it was 450 of them. 450 prophets of Baal cutting themselves, crying and complaining and moaning. It was 450 of them. And it was just Elijah. And Elijah was like, let it be known there is a God in Israel. And I am thy servant, man. That I am thy servant, man. Elijah was a humble brother, man. And he served the Lord, man. He served the true God, the power of Israel, man. Read on.
God, hear me, O Lord, hear me, that this people may know that thou art the Lord God.
He said, let this people know. Let our hard-headed people understand and know that you are our God. Because here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. How I really knew that we are the same people. We watched, imagine this. We saw the Red Sea split. We saw this with our own eyes. And then Moses left us for 10 minutes. I say 10 minutes, you know what I mean? But it was 30 days. But here's the thing. 10 minutes in black people time is a long time. You know what I mean, Barzell? Moses left us for 10 minutes. And guess what? We down here making an altar to go back to Egypt. We are a stiff-necked people, man. That's why Elijah is saying, let it be known to this people, our people, man. Read on.
God. And that thou hast turned their heart back again.
Turn their minds back again. Let our minds get turned back to serving the Lord, man. Meaning, throw Caesar Bougere out the window. Throw Allah out the window. Throw the Quran out the window, man. I got better use for the Quran. You know what I do, Barzal, when I run out of that Scotch toilet paper? That Quran do just fine. I run out of Scotch or Charmin's, you know what I mean? Or the Poppy Store brand toilet paper. I guess what? I take that Quran, you do the job. You do it. And then when you're done with it, you can throw it away. I pray you understand. Read on.
God. Then the fire of the Lord fell.
The fire of the Lord fell. Ooh-wee. But all couldn't do that. But the fire of the Lord, man, the Most High sent this fire down. Read on.
God. And consumed the burnt sacrifice.
Read on.
And the wood. And the stone. And the dust. And licked up the water that was in the trench.
Could you imagine seeing that? Could you only imagine watching 450 false prophets go out there and make utter fools of themselves, cutting themselves, screaming and complaining. And then you see one humble brother, Levite brother, man, Elijah come out there, just him, calling on the name of our God, our Father, and that fire come down. Imagine seeing that. and being like, oh man, fuck. You imagine? Read on.
And when all the people saw it, they fell on their faces.
Man, they fell on their face. They said, oh no, we have made a mistake. They fell on their face because they understood something. Read on.
And they said, the Lord, he is the God.
The Lord, he is the God, man. Read on.
The Lord, he is the God.
He is the God, man, meaning he's our God, black man, Hispanic man, First Nation man and woman. And that's why it's important for us to understand, man. Deuteronomy 6:4 says, hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord, man. Shema Yasha Allah Yahweh Allahaya Now Yahweh Akkad. He's our God, man. And our people have to be reminded of this. You have to understand that you can't be out here praying to Baal. You can't be out here, you cannot be playing to Allah and Caesar Borgia and Shiva and Buddha. You know what I mean? And making up your own deities and gods. You can't do that. Our God is the God, man. He's one Lord. Read on.
And Elijah said unto them, take the prophets of Baal.
Now Elijah said, take the prophets of Baal. Now Elijah's like, this is what we're going to do with these so-called prophets of Baal. Read on.
Let not one of them escape.
Let not one of them what?
Escape.
Let not one of them escape. He said, don't let not one of them escape. What does that mean? What does that mean, not let one of them escape? Meaning this. Put it in, Israel terms, Judite terms. Elijah looked over there, you know what I mean, to the prophets of Baal and said, you know you done effed up, right? You know you done messed up. It's your ass now. You dead. You dead, homeboy. You dead, Slice. It's over. Let not one of them escape. Read on.
And they took them, and Elijah brought them down to the brook of Kishon.
Now, Elijah brought them down to the brook of Kishon and did what?
And slew them there.
And slew them there. Elijah said, okay, down there at the brook of Kishon. And guess what? That was 450 of them. Elijah went down there and was like, zoop, 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 poop. You can play with the Most High if you want to. You can play with our God if you want to, black man, Hispanic man, First Nation man and woman. The Most High God is not to be played with, man. You damn near playing with fire. You don't understand, man. The Lord can jack your life up and destroy you, man. You think the oppressor can do something to you? The Lord is the one that can destroy your body in hell and in earth, man. I'm trying to tell you something, Israel. Like Nakar say, I'm trying to give you free game. Nakar be giving out free game on the grand bars, though. I don't know if y'all know. I'm trying to give you some game right here. The Lord is not to be messed with. Keep being a Christian if you want. Keep being a Muslim if you want. Keep being a vagabond, fake Israelite if you want. I suggest, highly recommend you come into the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, black man, Hispanic man,
right.
First Nation man and woman. Now is the time, man. Now is the time. And you know what? Let me give you another instance. Let me give you one more. Go to 2 Kings 1 and 2. Let me give you another instance. Because here's the thing. Our people, you know what I mean, going down and inquiring of these heathens and having an infatuation with them is nothing new. It's nothing new, man. And it's important for us to understand. We have a long battle, a long fight up ahead, man, when we go out there to these streets and we cry aloud to our people, the Lord's people, man, because our people are stiff-necked and hard-headed. And that's why it's important for us to go out there and do this, because our people don't understand. As soon as something go wrong in your life, you want to turn to Caesar Borgia, you want to turn to Allah, you want to turn to Buddha, when you need to turn to the God of Israel, man, Yahweh. Read 2 Kings chapter 1 and verse 2.
There's the book of 2 Kings, chapter 1 and verse 2. And Ahaziah fell down through a lattice in his upper chamber.
Now, more history. Isaiah is king of Israel at this time. Isaiah is sick at this time. He going through it. He going through it, man. DeVille, Houston, make sure, listen, brother, make sure you keep coming to class, boy. You come to class in your zone, wherever your zone is, make sure you come, and you know what I mean? And if you can continue doing what you're doing by coming online. But to truly, you know what I mean, come in here, you got to come in here and fight your demons, boy. You got to come in here and get in class physically. I appreciate, you know what I mean, you coming to class and tuning in online, but if you really want to get down, you know what I mean, you got to come and get in that all black, boots, headband, shirt, you know what I mean, and scarf, man, and get down, brother. You're not going to beat them demons by yourself. That's another thing, you know what I mean, like a sidebar. A lot of our people think you can conquer your demons by yourself. And let me ask you a question. When was the last time you did that and it went successfully by yourself? Wow. The good thing is here in the Israelite School of UPK, we undefeated against Legion. We undefeated, you know what I mean, against, you know what I mean, those powers that be them demons, man. Wow. You don't got to fight that battle yourself, brother. Just come to class and put on that all black and keep tuning in online too. If you can't make it on in class physically, keep tuning in online. But I highly recommend you come into class in your zone, warrior, and put on that all black, brother. Now read on, Barzal.
That was in Samaria and was sick.
Mm-hmm.
And he sent messengers and said unto them, Go inquire of Beliezer.
Baalzebub. Now, here we go again, Barzal. Here we go again. Now, Isaiah is king of Israel at this time. And he like, I'm sick. I'm going through it. Go. I'm dying, man. Go inquire of Baal. Go inquire of Baalzebub. Did we not read a couple chapters, before that Baal and Baalzebub and all these heathen gods are nothing? Wasn't it not 450 of them outside crying and complaining, cutting themselves? Didn't Elijah slay them? You know what I mean? Like, our people just don't learn. And it's important for you, lesson is not to learn the way Isaiah is about to learn about what he's doing. He's saying, go inquire of Baalzebub. Go inquire of Baal when he needs to inquire of the Lord, man. He needed to inquire of the Lord, Yahweh, man, of his illness, man. But no, you want to go and inquire of the heathens, God, because you think Allah. Barzal, every time I think about Allah, right, I just think about our silly brothers and sisters, like in those dresses. Like, you wearing a dress, you got the little red stuff in your beard, you know what I mean? You got on the little Ishmaelite shoes. You're riding around in that magic carpet. That's what I think when I think about Allah. It's fiction. It's a fairy tale. It's a comic book. Right. It ain't real. They're idols. The Quran is toilet paper. The same thing with Caesar Borgia and that white Jesus. Like, our people are really, really brainwashed, man. Satan got a real strong hold on our people with this Christianity and this Islam, man. And guess what? That's a curse from the Lord too. Now, Isaiah is king of Israel, and he's saying, man, go inquire of Baalzebub. And we just read in 1 Kings, the 18th chapter, the 21st verse to the 40th verse, about how Baal ain't real. Baal and Allah must be Barzal. Baalzebub, Baal, you know what I mean, which is the same. Baal and Allah, they must both got PTO time. They probably on a golf course somewhere. They gonna get around to it. They playing Madden right now. You know Madden just dropped, Barzal. they playing Madden right now. Baal and Allah and white Jesus. People don't learn. You're not learning. Right. Did you not see what just happened? Now Isaiah is king of Israel. And he's like, go inquire of Baalzebub, the god of Ekron. Read on.
The god of Ekron, whether I shall recover of this disease.
He like, oh man, go inquire of Baalzebub and see if I'm going to recover of this disease. I'm asking the class online. How do you know that he ain't gonna recover of this disease? What was his first mistake? I think I might have gave it to you if you was in the class paying attention. What was Isaiah's biggest mistake? I'll give it to you. If he really wanted to recover of his disease, he wouldn't have inquired of Baalzebub. Right. He would have got a priest of God and asked and inquired and turned from his wickedness, and maybe he'd have been healed. But no, you thought that the God of the Moabites the God of the Arabs, the God of the Edomites, the God of the Hittites. You thought their God could heal you. Now you just cost yourself of ever getting better. Read on.
But the angel of the Lord said unto Elijah.
Now, the angel of the Lord came to Elijah and was like, oh man, Elijah, here we go again. Here we go. Read on.
The Tishbite, arise, go up to meet the messengers of the king of Samaria, and say unto them.
Now, he said, go to the king of Israel. Go to the king of Samaria. Go to Isaiah. And ask him this. Ask him this question. Read it. And tell him this. Tell him this.
Is it not because there is not a God in Israel that ye go to inquire of Baal-zebub?
He said, hold up. Is it not because there is not a God in Israel that you go and inquire of Baal-zebub, the God of Ekron? He's like, hold up. You mean to tell me it's not a God in Israel? Did we not just prove to everybody that the Lord is our God? Like, did we not? We've been here before. Like, I saw this movie before. Don't you see the reoccurring theme? And this is why it's important for us to understand our history. This is why it's important for us to understand our history, black man, Hispanic man, First Nation man and woman. The Lord is asking, telling Elijah, go and tell him, is it not because there's not a God in Israel? Like, what the hell is wrong with you? And I got the same question. What the hell is wrong with you thinking, you know what I mean, you are going to go into the Christian church and find God? And you're going to go into the Muslim mosque and find God. And you're going to go to the God of the East Indians, the God of the Chinese, and the God of the Africans and find the Most High. You are not. You know what you're going to find when you go into Christian church? Corruption, molestation, rape, murder. Why do I say murder? Because they encourage our sisters, you know what I mean, to abort our babies. What are you going to find in the nation of Islam besides the same thing? Corruption, you know what I mean? Sexual deviancy, maybe some homosexuality. You're going to find bean pies. That's what you're going to find. You're going to find that. But here's the thing. It said not because there's not a God in Israel. I mean, to tell me we don't have a God? You know what I mean? The Lord is like, yo, is it not, like, am I not here? Like, am I not around? What's going on? Read on.
The God of Ekron, now therefore thus saith the Lord, thou shalt not come down from that bed.
Woo. The Lord said, now, you know you done messed up, right? Like, tell Elijah, the Lord is telling the angel, go tell Elijah that he messed up. Go tell Elijah to tell the king, Isaiah, that he messed up. That now you're not coming out that bed. Now you thought you was going to get better. Now you're not going to get better. Read.
On which thou art going up, but shalt surely die.
He said, man, now you are surely going to die. Now you're going to die because you tempted me. Now you're going to the other gods. You're going to Baal-zebub, man. Read on.
And Elijah departed. And when the messengers turned back unto them, he said unto them, why are ye now turned back? And they said unto him, there came a man up to meet us, and said unto us.
Now, Isaiah's messages came back to him. He like, hold up, why y'all come back? What's going on? Why y'all ain't go inquire of Baal-zebub that fast? You ain't going to inquire of him that fast. Hold on, wait a minute. What's going on? Read on.
And they said unto him, there came a man up to meet us.
Now they like, hold up. It was a brother that came to meet us, man. It's a man that rolled up on us. Read on.
And said unto us, go, turn again unto the king that sent you.
He said, hold on. I need y'all to go to the king that sent you. I need you to relay a message to the king. Relay this message to Isaiah. Read on.
And say unto heaven, thus saith the Lord, it is not because there is not a God in Israel.
He came up and said, hold on, man. He said, not because there's not a God in Israel. Read on.
That thou sendest to inquire of Baal-zebub.
Baal-zebub.
Baal-zebub. the god of Ekron.
The inquirer of Baal-Zebub, man, Baal. Now you're going to the god of Ekron. Now you're going to the god of the heathens, man, the Moabites. Now you're going to their god. You're going to inquire of him. He said, not because there's not a God in Israel. Read on.
Therefore thou shalt not come down from that bed.
That had to be a heavy message that his messengers got from Elijah to give to the king. I would not have wanted to give him that message. Man, could you imagine, right, being in the army back then, being in the military, being in, being a warrior, and under as a hire, right? Being a messenger. And you know the Lord. You know that the God of Israel is one God. You know this. And you saying to yourself, man, I wouldn't do that. And then you see the prophet of God come up and tell you, go tell him that he's going to die because he inquired that God. Imagine having to tell him, like, well, sir, Salakia, Adawan, the priest, I believe it's Kahan in Hebrew. Elijah said, you ain't coming down from that bed, sir. You dead, sir. You out of here. Salaki. Good night. Oof. Not wanting to give that message.
Right.
Read on.
Come. On which thou art going up, but shalt surely die.
Mm-hmm.
And he said unto them.
Now, gotta understand, black man, Hispanic man, and woman. I love humor. I do. And this is another way how I knew that we are the people of the Lord, man. We blacks and Hispanics and First Nation men and women. Read verse 7 bars on real quick.
Come. And he said unto them, what manner of man was he which came up to meet you and told you these words?
Let me break this down in tribe terms. Who is that nigga that told you this? Who came up to you and told you that? He said, what manner of man came and told you that? Like now Isaiah is confounded. He like, yo, who told you that? Who is this man? Who is this? Bring him to me. Who said that? Read on.
Come. And they answer him, he was an hairy man, girt with a girdle of leather about his loins. And he said, it is Elijah the Tishbite.
Elijah the Tishbite, man. Elijah the Tishbite. Understand, man, Elijah was an Israelite, man. Right. Tribe of Levi. Right. He was a hairy man in a girt of the girt of the leather about his loins, man. Hairy brother, man. I mean, Elijah had that beard. He had on that war belt. He had on that garment. He's a hardcore priest and prophet of the Lord, man. He the one that came, and told us this. Read on. And if y'all got any questions, make sure y'all type them in. I'll be answering y'all questions tonight. Read on, Barzil.
Come. Then the king sent unto him a captain of 50 with his 50. And he went. He
said his captain of 50. Read on.
Come. And he went up to him, and behold, he sat on the top of an hill.
Now, Elijah on the top of the hill, chilling, not minding his own business. And here comes this captain, that as a higher sent to get Elijah. Read on.
Come. And he spake unto him, thou man of God, the king hath said, come down. And Elijah answered and said
to show you the arrogance, that this captain had, he came up and said, thou man of God, the king have said, come down. He's saying this in a condescending tone. He like, man, thou man of God, you got to come with me. He tried to check Elijah. Come on, man. Thou man of God. And Elijah said, read on.
And Elijah answered and said to the captain of 50, if I be a man of God.
He's saying, if I be a man of God, read on.
Then let fire come down from heaven and consume thee and thy 50.
Man, he said, and the fire of God, he said, if I be a man of God, let fire come down from heaven and consume thee and thy 50. What did Elijah just do? Elijah checked him. He said, oh yeah, I got you. If I be a man of God, coming at me like that, if I be a man of God, let fire come down and consume you and your 50. Elijah, like, you must not know. You must not know, you know what I mean, the God that I serve, the God that we serve, black man, Hispanic man, First Nation man and woman. Elijah was the same priest, you know what I mean, that built that altar, man, that went up against them prophets of Baal, and fire came down and lit the altar, man, and killed them prophets of Baal. Elijah's like, you know, if I be a man of God, let fire come down and consume me and I 50. Read on. Let's see what happens.
And there came a fire down. And there came down a fire from heaven and consumed him and his 50. Verse 11.
Now fire came down and consumed them and they 50. Amen. Amen. Good night. Fire came down and consumed them and they 50. Good night. Read on.
Come. Again.
Turns out that Elijah was a man of God, boys. Turns out that Elijah was a man of God. Read on.
Come. Again, also he sent unto him another captain of 50 with his 50. And he answered and said unto him, O man of God, thus have the king said, come down quickly. And Elijah answered and said unto them, if I be a man of God.
Now, another came down and said, O man of God, the king have said, come down quickly. This captain must not have known what happened to the last captain that came up against Elijah in this matter. Read on.
Come. If I be a man of God, let fire come down from heaven and consume thee and thy 50. And the fire of the And the fire of God came down from heaven and consumed him and his 50.
And the fire of God came down again and consumed now another captain and his 50. You think they would have learned, you know what I mean, that Elijah was a priest and prophet of God, boys, though. Good night. Read on.
And he sent again.
Now, he sent another captain. Read on.
And he sent again a captain of the third 50 with his 50. And the third captain of 50 went up and came and fell on his knees before Elijah.
Now, this captain of 50 came up to Elijah and fell on his knees. This captain of 50 was smart. He was smart. He understood something. He understood that Elijah was a priest and prophet of God. He humbled himself. He said, hold up. I do not want that fire to rain down on me. Keep that away from me and my men. Read on.
And came and fell on his knees before Elijah and besought him and said unto him, O man of God, I pray thee, let my life and let the life of these 50 thy servants be precious in thy sight.
He said, O man of God. He said, Salakia Adawan, Salakia, sir. Please, sir, I beseech you. Please hear me out, sir. Let my life and the life of my men be precious in thy sight. He's like, I ain't like them. He wasn't like those other two captains. This captain was humble. He understood and respected the fact that Elijah was a real priest and prophet of God, man. Read on.
Behold, there came a fire down from heaven and burnt up the two captains of the former 50s with their 50.
He said, I heard about what happened to them. I ain't like them brothers. No, I understand who you are. I understand that the only God is the God of Israel, man. Read on.
Therefore, let my life now be precious in thy sight.
He said, let my life be precious in thy sight. He pleaded with Elijah, please, Lord, please, my Lord, please, Adawan, let my life be precious in thy sight. Read on.
And the angel of the Lord said unto Elijah, go down with him. Be not afraid of him.
He said, be not afraid of him, man. Don't be afraid of him. You are good. The angel of the Lord had to come and tell Elijah, don't worry about it, warrior. You good. Don't be afraid of him. Read on.
And he arose and went down with him unto the king.
He arose and went down with him and went on to the king. And reading on further, he went down and told the king, you know what I mean? Yo, you messed up going to that God, you know what I mean, of Baal's Zabab, man. Going to inquire of him. Now I got another question. What brother say? He says, Salakia, I've been trying to know for certain, is yoga, Thai, etc. unlawful? Now, when you say like yoga, Thai, you talking about like yoga and Tai Chi? Like that stuff that they be doing in the park. You know what I'm talking about, Barzo? You know, you ever see them out there in the park doing yoga and that shit and doing the Tai Chi?
If I could, sir, you know, they can do all that. Just take the yoga out. You just stretch. That's all you really doing.
That's what I was saying. Like, ain't nothing wrong with exercising. I need him to clarify. Because here's the thing. Ain't nothing wrong with stretching your body like Barzal says. But you give me Jeremiah 10 and verse 1. But here's the problem. Here is the issue. You know what I mean? And Proverbs 3 and 30. Give me Proverbs 3 and 31 and Jeremiah 10 and 1. Let me get Proverbs first. Now, here's the problem first. Like, if you're doing that. If you out there doing yoga, right? You out there stretching. And you got to understand when they do all this and they do all them crazy motions, they're serving their gods. They're giving homage to their gods, like Shiva and the other little one with the elephant. Them same gods, we talked about it today, them gods that they threw in the river, Barzo. The East Indians threw their gods in the goddamn river because they could not help them against the COVID-19, man. And that black fungi that the God of Israel sent down on him. So if you out there doing that, you know, I understand the problem is you are doing that to their gods when you start getting crazy with it. Ain't nothing wrong with stretching, like Barzal said. You can stretch and exercise. There's nothing wrong with that. But then when you start, it's the same thing with the martial arts. When you're doing all this other crazy stuff, the crane and all that, understand, man, what you really doing. You giving homage and praise, you know what I mean, to their gods. Doing all that crazy choreography. That's what it really is. You're giving homage to them and their gods, man. When you really might just look at it as an exercise. You're like, oh, it's just another way to exercise. But it can get deeper than that. You know what I mean? If you start, you know what I mean, to take on their identity. Next thing you know, you're going to be out there doing yoga, and you're going to be out there doing, what's a yoga? You're going to be out there, namaste, samadhi, Shiva. So you're going to be doing that. You might not even realize it. You're going to be out there doing some type of African, you know what I mean? You're going to be out there doing some type of African stretching or fighting style or whatever. And next thing you know, you might be giving homage to their gods. You might be doing the voodoo and the Santeria, the Osiris, doing all this, doing that Wakanda forever. Now you taking on their customs. Read Proverbs 3 and 31.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 31. Envy thou not the oppressor.
Envy thou not the oppressor. Don't envy the oppressor and what they do. Don't envy these heathens and the things that they do. I watch Kung Fu movies coming up too. Like it's crazy thinking about it now that Bruce Lee was just another Steven Seagal, but Chinese. You know what I mean? You look at them, you see them, you know what I mean, doing their choreography, doing their different stances, doing this, doing that, you're doing too much. Now it's going beyond simple martial arts or exercise. Now you're giving like to their gods. When learn not the way of what's like, envy thou not the oppressor. Don't envy them and what they do. And read on.
Of God. And choose none of his ways.
And choose none of their ways. Don't choose their ways. Ain't nothing wrong with exercising, but when you start taking it a step further, soon you're going to be out there looking like Dalsim from Street Fighter. You're going to have on the little turban. You're going to be out there on a magic carpet, and you're going to be out there doing the yoga stretches and everything, and you're going to be namaste, samadhi, saying all the different, you know what I mean, East Indian gods' names and giving homage to them, and you're going to forget about the God of Israel. Just understand that. You're going to be out there doing, you know what I mean, the martial arts, you know, them different cultures. And then you're going to start doing their stances, giving them names and everything, and start giving homage to their gods and their deities. When we read earlier in Psalms 96 and verse 5, that the gods of the nations are idols, man. Now let me get Jeremiah 10 and verse 1.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 10 and verse 1. Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen.
Learn not the way of the heathen. Don't do what the heathens do, man. Learn not the way of the heathens. Don't go out there, you know what I mean, taking it a step too far and doing what they do. Let them have that. Right. Let them have that. even though it may be simple exercise to you, there's many exercises, you know what I mean, that you could do, you know what I mean, as a Black, Hispanic, or First Nation man and woman. But sometimes you take it a little too, they can take it a little too far when you go out there in them group meets. You know what I mean? And you're doing all the stances, you're saying the words, you know what I mean? Try to, what's the term? What is the term that they use in Buddhism where they like to detach themselves? They like to detach themselves from reality and open up their chakras. You know what I mean? Like that type of garbage. Go ahead, Barzo.
The Om.
The ohms. Ohms. You know what? You know what's funny? You bringing that up. You know, it starts with you doing that, right? It starts with that. It starts with you, and I got to tell it myself. Now I got to tell it myself. I had a sister ask me to go out there and do that with her, to go out there and exercise with her. But I see, you know what I mean? She got the feet in the grass. You know what I mean? Out there wearing the little crazy leotard and everything, and they out there doing the yoga stretches, saying the different East Indian gods' names. I'm like, yo, this ain't for me. Next thing you know, you're going to be forgetting about the Most High. You're going to be forgetting about our King, Yahushua. You're going to be forgetting about that. Usually, you know what I mean? A lot of brothers mess up. You go out there and want to holler at a sister, you know what I mean, that's out there doing that. Not saying that's you, brother, because I almost got caught up like that. A sister almost got me. And I said, well, I can't do that. Right. Next thing you know, you're going to be out there celebrating her gods and her customs. Next thing you know, listen, and just to share this part with you, you know what I mean? I think Barzal already know. Next thing you know, you're going to be doing more than that. You're going to be over there. You're going to be burning sage. She's going to be pulling out the tarot cards and everything. You're just going to be getting caught up, man. That's why the Lord said, learn not the way of the heathens. Right. And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, because the heathen are dismayed at them. Right. You know what I mean? I hope that answers your question, brother. Now, says the history class, man, I appreciate everybody tuning in online. Understand this, if I can leave y'all with this, Black man, Hispanic man, First Nation man and woman. Understand this, that we are God's chosen people. And it's important for us to come back to our identity and our history. And our history is right here in the Bible. I don't give a damn what condition or how bad we going through it here in America, or in Trinidad and Tobago, or in Mexico and Honduras, or in South America. We are the children of the Most High, princes of the power, princesses of the power. Wow. Lord made us to be a special people unto himself. And if I could, Barzal, give me 1 Peter 2:9. 1 Peter 2:9. I'll close out with that. 1 Peter 2:9. We'll close out with this scripture. There ain't no other questions.
This is the book of 1 Peter, chapter 2, and verse 9. But ye are a chosen generation.
But ye are a chosen generation. We are a chosen generation, Black man, Hispanic man, First Nation man and woman. The Lord chose us. Now is the time for us to awake out of sleep and come into the truth and get right. Read on.
Oh God. A royal priesthood.
A royal priesthood, contrary to what you might believe. The men masquerading in purple are not priests of God. Neither are those ones that wear white, that let white women and white men in their congregation. Neither are the ones that like to go to strip clubs and other gentlemen club establishments and holler at the working girls, the bottle girls. They're not the priests and prophets of God wearing fringes on their t-shirts and wearing sneakers. The royal priesthood is right here in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. This is the royal priesthood, man. Can't be in this royal priesthood, man. You know what I mean? And not be in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. You can't be at home learning online from 5 to 10 different Israelite groups. You know what I mean? Bashing everybody, bashing the UPK, but still tune in to classes saying con out of one con, yes, sir, but disagreeing and throwing shade on the side, being a vagabond at home in your mama's basement. You're not a priest. Come into the ISUPK under command of General Yohana and become a priest of God, man. This is the royal priesthood here in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Read on.
And holy nation.
A holy nation, a separate nation. We a separate nation unto the Most High, man. Read on.
It's like A peculiar people.
A peculiar people. Peculiar meaning special, man. Who's more peculiar? Who's more special than blacks, Hispanics, and First Nation men and women? We dominate everything that we touch, man. Nobody's smarter than us. Nobody's faster or stronger than us. But here's the more important thing. The reason why we are the salt of the earth is because the Lord chose us to be the salt of the earth, man. We are peculiar people. Read on.
That ye should shoot forth the praises of him who hath called you out of darkness unto his marvelous light.
You've been called out of the darkness and then called into his marvelous light. You've been called out of the world. You've been called out of that wicked society, man, that tells us that homosexuality is an alternative lifestyle, that tells us it's all right to be a murderer and abort your kids and hate your brother. You're being called out of the darkness of America, the darkness of Trinidad, the darkness of Mexico, the darkness, you know what I mean, that this world, this evil, wicked society offers into his marvelous light. And that marvelous light is the truth, man, the Isupk. And with that being said, I am priest and officer of 1000 Yediah. This was the Thursday night history class. Make sure y'all paying y'all tithes, man. Pay your tithes. Pay your tithes, black man, Hispanic man, First Nation, man and woman. You're giving Pastor Ruffin all the money. You're giving TD Snakes. You're giving Creflo Dollar. You're giving Geno Jennifer, that bald head, all the money, man. They're not the priests and prophets of God. The priests and prophets are here in the Isupk. Pay your tithes. Tune in to Black Watch every Monday. Commander General Yohana, man. Make sure y'all subscribe to Black Watch News every Monday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. General Hazayan, man. Every Monday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Let a Hebrew speak. Every Wednesday, I'm on the show, Israel. Ask Ye the Prophets with General Mayaka Allah, man. General Mayak got a show, man. Ask Ye the Prophets every Wednesday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And then send y'all questions in. Make sure y'all tune in to Cross the Line Radio tonight with Captain Tazariak and Captain Katazal. And tune in to Captain Gadal Hall and my brother, Officer Thubba Wan, Officer 1000. You know what I mean? Out there in Cali. Tune into that as well. And with that, I'm going to pass the class off to Priest and Officer 1000, Barzal Recover.
Okay, Officer Yediah, one more name. We had an Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started out of 1 West, 125th Street, all of New York, under command